Hi everybody, Chrissy here. I'm going to show you how to make this card in this video. So here at Thermoweb, we are doing a collaboration with Sassy and Crafty, and they have really cute stamps and stencils. So for this particular card, I decided to pair a stamp set, a stencil, along with some of our Deco foil and some of our toner card fronts. So I am using the Paisley Field Stencil, which is this right here, and then the stamp set that I stamped that cute little kitten is called What's Up Buttercup. So I'm just going to put some Pixie spray on here real quick. I use a paper towel to kind of cover my surface, and then just let the Pixie spray set. I mean, it takes maybe like 30 seconds before you're going to go ahead and put it onto your white cardstock. So I love Pixie spray because I don't have to worry about my stencil moving whatsoever. If you're familiar with stencils, you know there is nothing worse than doing all this work, all this layering, whether you're using inks or paste or a combination of two, whatever it might be, and then to have your stencil move. So once my stencil was secured, I literally just pressed it on and went, and then I grabbed some of my ink. I just showed you real quick how my ink daubers are stored. I grabbed 3 different Catherine Pooler inks, and now I'm going to use that Paisley Field stencil to create kind of like a little bit of an ombre effect using the 3 different inks. So I'm blending, I'm just using kind of like warm tones. I also wanted to make sure that I added a little pink in there. That's this one. It's the Flirty Fuchsia color. I used Chiffon as the yellow and Orange Twist as the orange because I wanted the Flirty Fuchsia in there to pull in because I knew I was going to use my Twinkling pink foil, which is a Gina K foil that we have here at Thermoweb. And it didn't have to match exactly, but I just wanted that color to kind of pull it all together. So now here is one of my toner card fronts. These are fabulous because I am a huge proponent of making my own backgrounds. I love making backgrounds, so I use these all the time for my backgrounds. And you can foil them real easily, like I'm showing you here. You literally drop the foil on and run it through your laminator, but you can also add color to them, add paste to them, whatever you can think of. And so in this particular instance, which I don't do this that often, I'm actually going to use the toner card front that I've just added that twinkling pink foil to as an accent. So usually I use them more for an entire background or a portion of the background, stuff like that. I'm actually going to use it kind of in the way that I would use pattern paper, which I really don't use often because I love stencils and I love my toner card fronts, but I am treating it as pattern paper. So you saw I just trimmed it down on my trimmer, and I kind of decided to split it a little bit. I don't know, I just felt like it added a little bit more interest than just having that whole solid thing going all the way across. So this way they're off a little bit. It just kind of makes sure I look around the entire card front instead of it just being boom, here's solid stripes, and then here's the stencil background that I created. So the tip that I have for you today is when you're adding, whether it be pattern paper or toner card fronts or whatever it is, leave a little bit of an overhang, and then that way you can just trim it off later. If you try to match it up exactly, it almost never works. So you're always going to have the edges left over. So it's better to have the edges hang over, and then you can just trim them either on your trimmer or with scissors, whatever works for you. So I stamped this little kitty on here, and now I'm just going to color them in with some alcohol markers. I sped this up pretty fast because I really kind of keep my coloring simple. For the body, I'm using 2 different color grays. And then I pulled in colors that I use in the background as well. So for the bow, I decided I wanted to use yellow, and then I kept the ears pink, and then I used to use a different kind of pinky purple for the flowers. And that sentiment that I stamped that I showed earlier, I used my Misty stamping tool, and I used a sentiment that says, "To my best bud." And I definitely wanted to make sure that I used my Misty because I spent so much time on that background stenciling that I did not want to screw up the sentiment because that would be the worst thing ever. So the Misty stamping tool holds everything in place, and I don't have to worry about not getting a good impression or anything like that. I get a good impression, and if I don't, it holds it in place so I can stamp it a second time to make sure my impression is perfect. So I just fussy cut this out when I was done coloring. So you can see here I'm just doing that. If you have one of those die cutting machines like a scan and cut or something like that, you can also do that too, but I actually kind of like fussy cutting. I'm one of those weirdos. I find it relaxing, so I like doing it. So now I have my 3D foam stamp, or 3D foam here from Thermoweb, and I am going to just start assembling my card. This is a part where I always feel like I'm so accomplished. I do all the pieces, and at the very end I put it all together, and it just makes me feel like I've achieved something. So to finish off the card, I just have a white Jelly Roll pen. I'm just adding a couple little highlights and accents in there on the cat, and then I added some little dots like on the flowers, just maybe to kind of seem like it's like glistening from the morning dew or whatever. Just some little cute little accents on there. I give the kitty like a little dot by her eye. She's like Marilyn Monroe with a little white dot on there instead. So this is this card that we created. So I did a second one as well, also using a bunch of Sassy and Crafty supplies that I will link in my blog post. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and I hope you have a great day.